some churches in Goa, certainly, in Kerala, right? And if you also go to churches in Europe, you will see these beautiful, paintings on glass. Now the question is, what is the color of glass? Mostly colorless, right? Right? Then how do you make this colored glass? That is the question you should ask. Huh? By mixing it with metals. And here I give a big list. For example, if you mix iron oxide, this will be green. If you made lead with antimony, it will be yellow. So in fact, those people actually, did this chemistry and found out which chemical, if you add, you will not add up the whole chemical. You will, while making the glass, you will, while melting the silicon, while melting the sand, you will add little bit of this metal salts and this will become color, right? So you have to understand that color of this is actually dependent on the color of the mostly transition metals which you do. So that chemistry has to be appreciated. Because of that, you see this beautiful color, right? In fact, even the acrylic paints, these paints which you use, they are all hydrophobic. Why they are hydrophobic? Very nice, because then your walls will, that is why your ads come, no? All these beautiful ads in emulsions and all those things. Chemistry, those polyacrylic, these are water repelling, right? In fact, now people are coming with self-healing paints. In the sense, if something starts coming out, it will get healed by itself. Beautiful chemistry. In fact, people found out, there are big research about it, that those stained glasses, the colors of these glasses actually consist of small nanoclusters. And what do the nanoclusters do? The nanoclusters clean up the air. What happens in a church? There will be dust particles, right? Volatile organic compounds, VOC. In fact, old houses, old paintings have that, VOC. In fact, Shah Rukh Khan is doing an ad, almost no VOC. What is VOC? Volatile organic compounds. What are they? These are small organic compounds which are harmful. So what did those glasses used to do? They used to have those nanoclusters, okay, which under the influence of sunlight, of course sunlight is there in the churches, would break those volatile organic compounds and convert them into carbon dioxide, so that it is not harmful to you. So you will have an unclean air consisting of volatile organic compounds into clean air. Basic technology, so much of chemistry. Unfortunately, people didn't realize that. Now people understand that what is the real thing which is happening. But what people used to do in those days, they used to use what is known as experience. See, also with experience, you will also get to know which is good, which is bad, right? That is what people used to do. So chemistry of glass is very important. In fact, chemistry of glass is so important. You have to understand that. By the way, you should also think about it, since some of you are also interested in physics also. Even physics of glass is also very important. Glass is a very crazy material. It is not a solid, right? Why it is not a solid? You will see after some time there are this kind of waves will come out. It is not a liquid. It is something between a solid and a liquid. Okay, and it is a very strange kind of a structure. If you actually look at probe the structure of glass, in fact, people do a lot of physics in understanding what is the real structure of glass, how glass is formed. It is an important area. And glass is, of course, glass is glass. Glass is important. Okay. Now, of course, in chemistry people talk about that potassium cyanide is a big poison, right? You should ask the question, why potassium cyanide is so poisonous? You should ask from a chemistry viewpoint. Potassium cyanide is poisonous. We all know potassium cyanide is poisonous. What makes potassium cyanide so poisonous? And how many of you are in class 11th and 12th? 11th? Oh, all of them are in 11th. Okay. Have you studied molecular orbital theory? Yes. Have you understood? No. No. Please. Yeah. You have studied. Of course, molecular orbital theory is very difficult, so don't worry much. So you should not think that I don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. Even I myself work on molecular orbital theory. I do research. I myself don't understand. Don't. So what is so special? How many electrons are there in cyanide, CN? Nitrogen and carbon. How many? So how many electrons are there in Cn minus? 14. How many electrons are there in N2 molecule? 14. Nitrogen N2 14 electrons, cyanide minus 14 electrons, right? N2 is not poisonous. In fact, 3/4 of our atmosphere is nitrogen. Nothing happens to us. But cyanide is so poisonous. But even it has the same number of electrons, why? That is the question you should ask yourself. The reason why cyanide is poisonous is actually very complicated. But it is also beautiful chemistry. You should understand what happens. So same thing happens with carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is also very poisonous. In fact, those none of you should have those bad habits